NFL Daily Mailbag coming at you here at Chat Sports. I'm Mitchell Renz. That's Tom Downey. And if you want to get featured during our shows, you got to join the live shows, guys. Monday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. First question coming here on the show is from Kenneth Booker, Super Chat. Should Denver re-sign Bolles since he finally has a good season? If so, for how much and how long?
He's talking about Garett Bolles, the Denver Broncos left tackle, who had been pretty bad throughout his NFL career. Producer Sam hates him, but Kenneth is right, actually. Bolles has been really good this year. He's finally kind of become the left tackle they were hoping for. But now your problem is twofold because you declined the option on him, which maybe you shouldn't have done. DJ Humphrey's got 14.5. I mean, Garett Bolles is going to be asking for him for that. So my suggestion, Denver, how about you franchise tag him?
Yeah.
How about you say, you know what, go prove it for another season, and then we'll make a decision.
Got another Super Chat coming in here from Jack Bishop, one of our most loyal watchers. What up, my man? Do the Raiders turn it around by upsetting, yep, not a typo, but I know what you mean, the Chiefs? I mean, right now, the over-under in this game is like 54.5. The Chiefs are 13, 14-point favorite. I mean, there's just too many injuries for the Raiders, and even if they were fully healthy, it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. As much as I want to say the Raiders are going to win, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think Jack's right to acknowledge it would be an upset.
Oh, yeah.
I would be surprised if they took down KC. Now, maybe there's some issues with KC going forward in terms of some potential tests, but I think that the Raiders are going to be fine here. Of course, the Raiders have their own issues, so I think the Chiefs win this one.
Next question coming in from Miri. Thoughts on Damon Harrison signing with the Seahawks? Miri, I know you're already subscribed to our Seahawks channel. Maybe some other people aren't. You can by going to youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Tom, you talked about this movie.
Yeah, we broke it down this morning for you, so make sure you didn't miss out on that video there, Miri. I think it's a great pickup. You got into the practice squad. Now, it's not quite formally official because NFL rules are weird right now, but I thought it was a great move. I give it an easy A.
Also an easy A is this name, Tom Clowney. Should the Packers trade for Julio Jones or A.J. Green? If you had to pick Julio or A.J., who would you trade for?
I think it's a pretty easy answer. The injuries concern me across the board here,
Agreed.
But I'm going to go Julio.
Okay.
I think the contract is a little dicey.
Sure.
A.J. Green has a franchise tag, so it's actually just as dicey there. I would go Julio. You get more time. It would cost more in terms of draft pick capital. But Julio is the better football player right now.
Agreed.
And if I'm Green Bay, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to try and pair Davante Adams, Julio Jones, and Aaron Rodgers together, along with Aaron Jones. Find me a better quad attack in the NFL than those four skill position guys. I would trade for Julio.
The only better quad attack would probably be maybe literally Aaron Donald's quads. They're just ridiculous. Or Saquon's. All right, pick a trade target. Type JJ for Julio Jones. Type AG for AJ Green. Which wide receiver would be the better one? I'm in agreement with you. I'm going to go JJ.
AJ kind of looks a little bit washed.
Yeah, 33 targets, 14 receptions. It's not there. I'm also in agreement. I'm going to go with Julio. Next question coming in from Chill Will. Will the Eagles win the division or wild card?
There is not going to be any NFC East team that makes the wild card. Unless something just wild happens and all of a sudden the Cowboys and Eagles look good, because every team in that division looks just absolutely terrible so far, there will be an NFC East winner, and it might be Philadelphia.
I'm still going to go with the Cowboys. To me, they still look like the best team in that division. Now, might say this, and it might be an unpopular opinion. After watching how bad the NFC East has been, if there's a team there where, let's say you make the playoffs and you're 6-10, I think even making it at 7-9 is a joke. You got to at least look into the fact of maybe all division winners shouldn't go into the playoffs.
No, that's the whole purpose of having divisions. They stay.
I hate
division winners stay.
It's like the East in the NBA. There's teams in the East in the NBA with 15 more losses than wins, and they make it in the playoffs. It's an absolute joke. Aaron, what up? Is Terry McLaurin a top 15 receiver? Give us a Y for yes, N for no. I'm going to type my N for no, but he is probably in my top 25.
If I am allowed to exclude the players who have all been injured and haven't really been able to play this year, which is a couple of guys.
Sure, Davante Adams, Julio Jones. I mean,
yeah. And honestly, McLaurin's awesome.
He's a very good player.
I know that no one watches Washington, and he's got Haskins as his quarterback. I think he's a top 15 receiver.
I think the only person.
In fact, I'm going to put him top 15 if everyone's healthy.
I think the only person that doesn't think Terry McLaurin's very good is Dylan, because he traded him in fantasy. Let's go to the next question coming in here from a real Cowboys fan. Do the Cowboys trade for one Patriots DB? If so, which one?
I mean, all the Cowboys fans are like, trade for a Patriots player. The Patriots are closer to being a playoff team than the Cowboys are.
Yeah.
So I would not get my hopes up, Cowboys fans. A, for trades in general, because COVID rules are tricky right now. But B, I don't see the Patriots tanking right now.
Yep.
Now, if they continue to struggle close to the trade deadline, I am down to revisit this. But I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense for the Patriots to be like, yeah, let's trade away. You're asking about Stephon Gilmore. Then they're not going to trade him. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, guys.
So before we get to our Super Chats, I do want to tell you about this deal going on right now. Go to chatsports.com/jersey deal. If you're looking for a rookie jersey, guess what? Got plenty of them. But if you are looking for a jersey under $80, there are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of them, right? All 32 teams, a whole bunch of different players. Just go to the link that you see below, chatsports.com/jersey deal. The deal of the day, there is a Julio Jones jersey available for under $50. I didn't look ahead and look at the notes in my description. I might leave today's show just to go get this. You know what? I'm out. No, seriously, though. Go to chatsports.com/jersey deal.
Yeah, we'll put that link in the comments, and it will go in the description as well. So all you guys got to do is click and shop. They got jerseys for your favorite team.
Super Chat time. Rustin Long, who is more likely to be in the Super Bowl, Chiefs versus Packers?
I think you mean Chiefs or Packers. I think I'm going to go Chiefs because they just have Baltimore's number.
Yep.
And because of that, I worry about Seattle for Green Bay. But I think in terms of like you're ranking the odds, those are two of your top four teams most likely to make it right now.
I mean, they're playing both very good football, and I'm in agreement with you. I think it's Chiefs, but Chiefs-Packers wouldn't be a bad Super Bowl. My original Super Bowl prediction.
It'd be a fun one.
My original one was Seahawks and the Chiefs, so that's something to think about. Another Super Chat coming in here from Kenneth Booker. Does Denver beat New England with their two huge positive tests? No. I mean, I can't say the Broncos are going to beat anyone right now.
Yeah, look, I know that you're missing your best offensive player, the best defensive player for the Patriots. The problem is that Cam Newton and with Stephon Gilmore out, the Patriots still kind of competed against the Chiefs. Like, they were in that game for a while.
Played well.
And not only that, Denver damn near lost to the Jets. Now, I know it's Thursday Night Football, but obviously the Jets are a better team than, or a worse team than the Patriots are.
True.
Meanwhile, Denver's a much less level of competition compared to what the Chiefs are. So because of that, I'm inclined to say no, they still don't win. It'll give them a better chance of winning, but no, in the end, I don't think that's what ends up happening.
From Judah, Bradley Roby to Dallas.
I mean, A, they just paid him. B, he's not that good. So
And
I
C,
mean,
your caps are on.
It's fine, I guess, if you want to pursue that. But I don't get jokes up for a trade, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think it's going to happen.
Next Super Chat is rolling in here from Preston Schmidt. Who are some of the top draft prospects in not just 2021? We're going 2022.
All right, 2022. Okay, we're skipping an entire year. Maybe he's a Houston fan.
Maybe.
Derek Stingley really jumps out to me, the cornerback out of LSU. I'm sure you guys know him. If you want to look at quarterbacks, if they choose to come out, Jaden Daniels out of Arizona State had a great last year. We'll see how he plays. Sam Howell has some upside as well. Technically, Spencer Rattler is eligible. I'm not convinced he's fully there yet.
Yep.
But they have some options there. So, look, it's 2022. It's going to be really weird. I don't think someone like a Cam McGrone comes out of Michigan. He could be a long-term option. And then my favorite guy, edge rusher out of Oregon, Kayvon Thibodeau. He and Stingley, if they were draft eligible, would be CB1 and Edge 2 in this upcoming draft class. They are that good.
Omega S Super Chat, what up, my man? Are the Packers the number 1 or 2 team in the NFC? Go Pack, go. Also, should the Pack trade for a defensive player? You listed a few there. We have them actually as our number 3 team in our NFL power rankings, only behind the Seattle Seahawks. So I'll say, yes, they are a top 2 team in the NFC. You would agree with me. Should they go out and trade for anyone on defense?
I think you could explore it. I think you're going to see trades are tougher to come by this year because of all the COVID protocols and whatnot. maybe you could explore another linebacker, but you can just keep running more dime and nickel packages. That seems to work out pretty well for the Packers. You just paid Kenny Clark, so you're not going to get a big-time option in terms of, like, expense with cost.
Yep.
I think Green Bay might kind of stand pat at the trade deadline unless there's some good value. If anything, I'd probably look for a receiver in the end.
All right, so you mentioned the Green Bay Packers. The team that I mentioned was the Seattle Seahawks. Who do you think's winning Sunday Night Football? Type MIN for the Minnesota Vikings, or I want you to type SEA for the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, Seattle's not going to have Jamal Adams, which is a huge loss, but the Vikings have Kirk Cousins, so I'm going to take Seattle.
Yeah, I'm still going to take Seattle here. This would be the first time in franchise history they've begun the year 5-0.
Wow.
So, chance for some history for Seattle. They're at home. Minnesota, they look pretty bad on offense. They've been getting a little bit better. I'm going to type in my SEA.
Let's go to Cortez Williams. Do you think Dak is out and Cowboys rebuild if they miss the playoffs?
I mean, I think you have to consider that as an option. Because right now, we are, I think for the most part, everyone's finally come around to my damn side and gone, oh, wow, it's not the quarterback. Like, we finally accepted, the quarterback's really good. But now you're in a problem if you're Dallas.
Yeah.
Because you paid everyone but the quarterback. Now, you can still pay him if you want to. But you've sunk some money into some bad contracts. Jalen Smith looks like a complete disaster. Tank Lawrence is playing fine, but not what you paid him to play like. Tyron Smith is always banged up. So if you miss the playoffs, you have two options here. You can either pay your quarterback and try and get some defensive pieces through the draft, or I think you blow it up and rebuild. I think there are legitimate arguments for both of those, but Mitch, what is easier? Finding good defensive players or finding another top 10 quarterback?
I mean, it's defensive.
It's the defensive players. So it makes things tricky for sure, and it reduces your margin for error. I think the better path is pay Dak and then extend him in 2 years and try and keep building through the defense. Because as long as you have Dak, I mean, look, that defense is trash, and they've almost won 3 of their games still.
Yeah.
Like, every game they had a chance to win late with a terrible defense. As long as you have Dak, you're going to have a chance to do it because he's already making 32. If you want to, you can structure where he gets paid less next season.
Yep.
It's not that hard. So I think of the options, you consider blowing it up, but I think you're better off paying Dak.
All right, so we're going to ask you this question now. Who do you got, Chargers or the Saints? This is a Monday night game, right? I believe so. Monday Night Football, Chargers, Saints. Type LAC for the Chargers, NO for the Saints.
Speaking of paying a quarterback with a trash defense, that was the Saints and Drew Brees for several years. They kept going 7-9. Eventually, they built the defense up, and now look where they're at. So I'm going Saints, by the way.
Yeah.
Drew's not quite right anymore.
I mean,
that arm,
I really underestimated how much they were going to miss Michael Thomas. I'll be honest.
That arm it's not right anymore. It's leaving him. He's got a year.
Drew
maybe
Brees,
2.
Always revenge game against the Chargers.
That's true.
Give me NO. All right, we got a super chat coming in from Nicholas Martinez. Can Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen both hit 1,000 yards? Is it possible? Sure. Is it going to happen? No.
Not with the way this Vikings offense is currently being run.
Yeah, no.
Like, we are going to run the ball on first down.
Yep.
We're going to do it on first down, and we're probably going to do it on second down. Screw the play action.
I will say, though, you have to be you have to feel great about what you've seen from Justin Jefferson the last 2 weeks. And Adam Thielen, obviously, to me, he's a top 10 receiver easily. Jefferson looks very good, and he's fitting very well.
I know that the pace is trending that way, mostly because like, no one else is getting targets on that team. Like, it's 20 for Jefferson, 31 for Thielen.
And
Dalvin Cook's got 11, and no one else is in double digits. So I think it is possible, but unless the offense changes, I don't think that's going to be the case here for the Minnesota Vikings.
Let's go to Hunter. We got a couple more questions, so if you want to get featured on the show, go ahead and super chat real quick. If we missed your questions, you can always hit us up. I'm on Instagram at MitchellWren365. Tom is at WhatGoingDowny. Could the Cowboys try and draft Patrick Surtain?
If they are in draft range, which is probably going to be top 10, yeah, I think they should. If Dallas, I think at almost wherever Dallas is drafting, you just go best defensive player on the board. Because your edges are old. They're almost all above 30 except for Tank, and he's paid and locked in there. The linebackers look bad and or are injured, and the secondary's doo-doo. So if you're Dallas, it's just best defensive player, let's go.
Everyone type do in the comments section. Please do that for me. All right, continue to get some questions flowing in here. You guys can use hashtag NFL. Ryan H., who should the Raiders trade or trade away this deadline?
It's all you, bud.
I mean, I don't really think that the Raiders should make any trades as of right now. You got to wait and see on who's totally healthy. If somebody's willing to make you an offer for Trent Brown, who showed up to practice finally, maybe you move on from him. But, I mean, it's going to be so hard to make any moves this offseason. The Raiders, though, they are going to be a new-looking football team. I think you move on from Tyrell, LaMarcus Joyner, Trent Brown. I mean, that saves you about $40 million next year. So I just don't think trading is going to be very, very likely for a lot of teams. John Doorman, can Kyle Trask be a good starting quarterback in the NFL?
Trask is a very polarizing prospect from everyone that I've talked to. The arm is not great. The decision-making can come and go at times. I think he's a solid football player. I think he might be more of a backup option in the NFL. But if you're looking for someone you can try and develop, there's not going to be a Joe Burrow. There's not. If there's going to be, it might be Kyle Trask, but again, there's not going to be. In terms of like the outside the big three guys that I'm watching for, keep your eye on Zach Wilson, the Mormon Manziel out at BYU. He's had an awesome year. He has looked so good.
Oh, my Lord. What a nickname that is. All right, we got one more super chat coming in here. This one's from Kenneth Booker. Denver should have beat Tennessee and almost beat Pittsburgh. So you're referring to us.
Sure.
But they didn't.
But also, you also.
And now you're also talking about all the injuries.
I mean, you almost lost to the Jets as well. And you shouldn't have beaten Tennessee if their kicker didn't suck early on. Yeah, you competed against Pittsburgh, but now you got all these injuries. So you can play the should-have, could-have game a lot. They're 1-3, and overall, they haven't looked that great. So can they upset New England? Sure. I wouldn't consider it the most likely outcome, though, in the end.
So do you want your team to win in Week 5? I don't know if you're superstitious or not, but if you don't subscribe...
I'm a little stitious, Mitch.
I love that line. Name that movie.
I'm a little
Get
stitious.
it wrong. Name the show, Mitch. Get it together. All right, so if you want your team to win in Week 5, you need to subscribe to Chat Sports right now. If you don't, your team's going to lose. So I'm just going to send out a warning right now just so everyone knows. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that you join us every single Monday and Wednesday for our live shows, 6 p.m. Eastern Time or 3 p.m. Pacific.